All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Night City Council. My name is John the Wise, and I am here. Council is in session with our honorable mayor. I'm sorry, my mayor. I'm sorry about that. Actually, that was you. That was your text message. But the honorable mayor, James Hutt, is here. Thank you, the mayor of Balancetown.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me, as always, John.
Well, I want to try something different and have you on this time.
It's true.
Your eyes look beautiful in this angle. I don't think I ever got to see the beauty of your eyes from the angle that. Did you get a new camera, by the way?
No, this is off my phone.
Oh, did you get a new phone?
No.
I don't know what's going on. New iOS, maybe?
I don't know. I think the laptop camera isn't as good as my phone camera.
Ah, that's what's going on.
It's been that's the trip,
Yeah.
Phone camera is better than the laptop camera.
We've come very far, haven't we? Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This is the show where we talk about any recent DLCs that R. Talsorian has, any news that we got coming down the pipeline, and of course, we answer community questions. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Today, we are talking about the newest DLC to drop. And what kind of DLC is this again? What is it? What is the monetary value of this?
It's free.
Free.
If you paid for it, you got ripped off.
Yeah. Whoever charged you for this DLC definitely screwed you over. But that's how Night City is.
If you're buying it as part of Interface Red, then you got a new. Then you got a DLC with your DLC.
I believe that the term is not for individual resale.
Yeah, it's like a cup ramen.
Yeah, like a cup of like it comes in the pack, and you see it on there, and you're like, oh, okay. But you know what? The corner store right here by my house, they sell it individually.
Wow, really?
Yeah, man. But
I don't think I've been there about that.
No. Yeah,
they sell the one without the cardboard rectangle around it.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that it says that on there.
The bare styrofoam cup version.
Yeah. They sell it to the individual wrapped ones, the individual saran wrapped ones.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's a mom and pop liquor store, dude. What are you gonna say? You know what I mean?
They call the ATF.
Yeah. Wow. Snitch. All right. Well, anyway, snitches get stitches, and so will your players after they face this new DLC called Hardened Mini Bosses. Break in Case of Power Gaming.
It's true. It's part of the Break in Case of Power Gaming series, because someday I will write Hardened Bosses, and then that'll be that. And Break in Case of Power Gaming, I'm planning on continuing.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of pulled out all the stops here. We'll get into it later.
There are things removed.
Oh, you had to remove some things?
The stops. We removed the stops.
The stops were removed. You removed all of them.
Not all of them. That's next time.
Oh, gotcha. So there's a couple of stops, but, a lot less than you would think. First of all, that art by Neil Branquinho, I think I think that's how you say his last name. Is that how you say it?
Beautiful art. Neil Branquinho. I believe.
Yeah, great guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook. That female figure, doesn't that look like Katana from Mortal Kombat?
A little bit.
I see it like 100%. And she
her
just
body.
Did. I
can see that.
What is that she's got on her? Is that just the cyber arm, or is that a linear frame inside of her?
Well, she's causing some serious damage. Might be an internal linear frame. I don't know. I can't actually see it right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were having some computer issues.
Yeah.
But you know what, James? This is how much you love the community. I offered to reschedule, and you said, no, we're doing this. People need to know what's going on.
You reschedule us to next week, then we're shooting it on Valentine's Day, and I don't got time for that.
That's right.
You forgot when Valentine's Day was?
I forgot it was
you better get yourself in here. You have a wife.
Yeah, don't worry. I did everything in advance, and my wife and I actually had a nice meal last night. But we're still gonna do something on Valentine's anyway. This is not the love connection. This is Hardened Mini Bosses. All right, we're here to tell you how to make sure that your players hate you by the end of the day, because you killed their characters.
Speaking of the love connection, I'll see y'all next month. Maybe with something about that.
Oh, little preview there. What do you got
Little
for us, James?
I'm not no more than that.
All right. Just a little
I
tease.
think it's self-explanatory.
Wow. Okay. Just you're full of riddles today.
Indeed. But you want to do questions first, then talk hard mini bosses?
No, I believe we decided that we would do the reverse.
Oh, that's right. It's been a month.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. Should we restart?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, hardened mini bosses was a lot of fun to write. We're getting to the candy. You know, we ate the vegetables. We did the hardened mooks. We did the hardened lieutenants.
Yeah.
Now we're in the mini bosses, the stuff that can really be that top end of your introduction to your campaign, right?
Yeah, that's right.
As a hard boss is useful as a pseudo boss for your initial game, right?
Yeah.
It's first antagonist that turns out to be like, I don't know, the general or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What is the TV tropes page? The Blackguard or something, or the Vanguard. The guy who's the antagonist who turns out to be an ally halfway into the thing.
The Vegeta?
But he starts as the Vegeta. Yeah.
The Vegeta.
You make great Vegetas.
Mm-hmm. The Vegetas are the best characters ever. Vegeta's one of the greatest characters of all time. Fight me with that, you know?
No, Vegeta's great.
Yeah. Loved it.
I'm not going to fight you on that.
It's
a losing battle. I don't fight those.
I was ready to fight, though, just letting you know. What are you drinking now? We got to know. That's kind of like show lore.
We're drinking the Fresca.
Ooh, yeah.
We drink the Frescas here.
I like it. I appreciate it. I respect it. Let me talk to these folks about the hardened mini bosses. Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were giving us a tour of your... For those of you that don't know, James was pointing a banana at me like a gun.
Don't say that.
So these hardened mini bosses are meant to replace the mini bosses in the Cyberpunk Red core rulebook. If you see page 414, as it says in this DLC, at a rate of 1 per 3 edge runners. So you've got an average game of like 3 or 4 guys, or maybe even 5. You could do one of these mini bosses, maybe 2 if you really think you can challenge the big parties, like the 5s. But that is the recommendation. Now, the next area is mini boss mini promotions.
Right. So this is for people who can't wait. Because admittedly, it's going to be some time until I get to hardened bosses. I got other stuff to do. Don't want to just do a bunch of the same content back to back. I want to mix it up. So with these things, if you them and you slot them onto the mini bosses, you get somewhat like boss difficulty. Certainly, you get something equivalent to the current non-hardened Cyber Psycho already.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a tool you can use. It's a lever you can pull in case your characters play a very high power game, or they're heavily min-maxed, and your campaign has gone on a moderate amount of time, so they also have that money resource. Or you want to play one of the weaker ones, because some of these mini bosses are not as good as the other parts of the mini bosses, right? Or you want to play one without their defining feature, and maybe you want to try to cobble a new defining feature together with some of these entries.
Yeah, or like, you could get like a
pyro, and you don't want to use the rocket launcher because that's a big creative choice as a GM.
With the Cyber Psycho, I cut you off, right? You said with the Cyber Psycho?
No, with the pyro.
Oh. Pyro with the rocket launcher. Okay. We'll get into their stats too, their stat blocks. But I actually really like this chart. Do you have a D10 handy, by the way?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Roll me a D10. So this chart is actually really cool because they have fun little things that you can do, and you can even add it to like your little sergeants. You got a 3, so 3 is give them teamwork 3 and give them a team member of your choice. Teamwork is the executive, the exec special ability, and at a 3, that means they get to have one lackey of your choice, right?
Yep.
So you just upgrade this solo, and you're like, oh, you know what? This guy's an Arasaka solo, and he's like part exec, part solo, and he has a team member. Let's give him another solo that he's maybe teaching the ropes. So it's like you just went from having one solo to 2 now, doubled up. Roll me again. I really like 1 too, by the way. 7. All right, 7. Give them an EMP grenade and an athletic skill base of 16. Remember, base means you add that number, which is 16, to 1d10. And athletics is what you use to throw grenades. So not only do you give them the EMP grenade, you give them the ability to throw it accurately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are fun.
We like to do that just whenever we give a stat block a grenade, just to make sure they can throw it.
Yeah, exactly. I actually like that. Number 1 is increase one of their skill bases that is above 10 to 17. So that auto fire that was at 11, maybe make that a 17, and now it's a far deadlier enemy than it was before.
Well, when used with these, it really only upgrades stuff that they already had high values in. So it won't give them a new thing. It'll make them better at the thing they're good at.
Exactly. So
I wanted to work within that so as not to imbalance the game. The whole point here is, what is a balanced higher difficulty game for players who play power gaming characters?
Do you have a D6?
I do. How many do you need?
So there's 6 hardened mini bosses in this DLC. So we'll roll a D6 a couple times and talk about the result.
I like this. This is good pacing. I should remember. 5.
A 5. Okay. 5, we have Hardened Pyro. The Hardened Pyro is a half solo, half tech. Their weapons are an excellent quality flamethrower doing 3d6 damage, and a poor quality rocket launcher doing 8d6 damage. That means it can jam on a 1. I don't know what happens to a rocket launcher when it jams.
Nothing.
Okay, so just the misfires, basically.
No.
So then what happens?
It happens after the attack.
Oh, that's right. The attack goes off.
So if you have a shot rocket launcher and you only have one rocket in it, you don't care if it's poor quality. Essentially, it's that disposable launcher.
Because it's poor quality.
Militaries, right? It doesn't matter if it jams. You weren't planning on loading it again.
Yeah. So with the combat awareness of 4 and a maker of 2, you can do all kinds of nasty things. Any of you guys that have played solos, you know what kind of stuff solos can do. Imagine a guy with a rocket launcher doing 8d6 damage in a 10-meter circle radius.
Once. He gets to do it once.
Exactly. Yeah, because I think you made sure he only has 1 rocket.
Yeah, because we're not trying to murder players over and over again. This is not the Tomb of Annihilation.
No, it is not. Anything else that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I wanted to mention 2 things on a stat block. The first being that it's an excellent quality flamethrower. You can't get an excellent quality flamethrower in the core rules. The only way you get an excellent quality flamethrower is getting a tech to upgrade a flamethrower.
So he upgraded his own flamethrower. The idea is
because it's an exotic. A flamethrower is an exotic.
Okay.
So the idea is you make her to upgrade his flamethrower, and he also upgraded that rocket because it's an incendiary rocket.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about it. Also can't get that without tech.
That's right.
Because rocket only has access to smart, I believe, and armor piercing effect types. Otherwise,
let's promote this uh, this mini boss. Roll me a d10.
2.
Increase their HP by 10. They now have 60 hit points. So 10 more hit points for you to have to deal with.
And that matters a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time. Okay.
10 hit Cyberpunk is way more than 10 hit points in another system.
Yeah, especially when you have enough armor down, because you might get it bladed down to like 9 or 8,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Okay, let's do another one. Roll me a d6 again. Reroll if it's a 5. 1. All right, the first one was fun. I like this one. Hardened Arasaka Assassin, another solo.
Yeah, I did a little pairing. I did the Militech veteran and the Arasaka assassin, so you can.
Yeah, well, why don't we talk about the two of them and what makes them different? So the Arasaka Assassin, mainly, both of them have 11 SP head and body. So did the Pyro, by the way. So the Arasaka Assassin, excellent quality heavy melee weapon, and martial arts strike. Both of them doing 3d6 damage, ignoring half AP or half armor. The excellent quality.
Martial arts karate as well.
That's right. Martial arts karate.
The heavy weapon to take advantage of the karate special attack. And for the Arasaka assassin, this is really useful for ninjas.
Yeah.
This is the ninja stat block. You pull this out when somebody needs to get attacked in the night.
Yeah, melee weapon base 16, martial arts karate base 16 as well. That means they're going to be doing damage no matter what. 50 HP, beefy enemy. And then on the flip side, we got the Militech veteran. The Militech veteran has 55 points of HP and has an assault rifle with shotgun underbarrel. That's 5d6 both ways, and a heavy pistol doing 3d6. Anything else?
I believe they have a muscle and bone lace.
Grafted muscle and bone lace, all kinds of special ammunition.
They increase their ammo, and then they have their HP. And then I do believe they have a bunch of armor piercing ammunition.
Yeah, so all kinds of ammo.
Both of these are great because a lot of hardened player characters like lots of armor. And both of these provide situations of how you can deal with armor. Of course, they work in different circumstances. The Arasaka assassin is really meant to be sent alone. The veteran works really well as a sniper. If you just switch out some of their stuff, I believe there even is a sniper as well, and I believe the sniper. There's a hardened sniper, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me find that person.
They work with the veteran as like a combined strike force.
Yeah, 45 HP, excellent quality sniper rifle with sniping scope, doing 5d6 damage. Excellent quality, and the sniping scope is a total of +2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're a solo too. I believe you can use your some kind of combat awareness thing to give you +1 as well, right?
He has enough to get +2 by activating it twice.
Oof. That's nice. So yeah.
So getting the ability to actually hit aim shots with the sniper rifle.
Yeah. So yeah, each one of these mini bosses is dangerous in their own right. You mix in some mooks in the middle of them that are just there to cause distraction, and you got a really deadly enemy there. I think you're going to see a lot of your players focus firing on this boss, trying to get it out of there. So maybe being smart about movement and cover. If the boss is in cover, then they have to deal with the cover or get in line of sight, and they can't just ignore the mooks either. So there's a great way to strategize with it.
Yeah, definitely having these. Well, you always want to play the enemies as intelligent, especially if your players are the type of people that you're supposed to run these guys against. If they're a hardened player character, then they're basically saying, I want a tactical, intense combat game. And part of that is playing them smart. These guys are really meant to reward smart play as well.
Yeah.
A lot of them have extra skills to do that, to more flesh them out in the back end. But another thing is that these guys make great NPCs at their tier or higher. You can give them a name, change up some of their skills, give them some extra skills, maybe roll on that boss upgrade table or not. And they make perfectly serviceable NPCs.
Yeah, I like the idea of having these guys in your back pocket in case your players decide they want to get frosty with like some of the local guards or local. Sometimes you put your players in a situation and you're like, they're not stupid enough to attack these people, are they? And then one of the guys decides to step up, and you can go, well, I got some mini bosses in my back pocket. I would definitely not kill the players, but I would subdue that player. You know what I mean? Maybe do like a brawling and just to hold them and then say, all right, everybody calm down. I don't know what's going on with this guy. You know what I mean?
I would only do that to them if they were trying to start a fight for a Forlorn Hope or something like that.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. On the streets, whatever, that's game, dude. We're at war.
But I agree with you. They work well for that. They make great bodyguards. Every one of them makes a good bodyguard. Because it's like the anime Lupin the Third. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
All the mercenaries in Lupin the Third have this thing about them that makes them unique and different characters. And in order for a character to become memorable in this high combat game, they have to show themselves to be competent.
Gotcha.
Right? And these guys make great baselines for homebrew on top of, or you can sneak a couple in there in the player's food before they realize that they're fighting the same stat block.
There you go. I would also be able to use these mini bosses as allied NPCs.
They're really strong allied NPCs.
Yeah.
I will say something. You definitely want to worry about the GMPC thing.
Sure, let's talk about that. Because I use the GMPC thing all the time. I'd love to hear your insight.
Well, just for me, whenever I have them have an ally, the first thing I do is I make sure it's their idea to have the ally. If they ask a guy, hey, we can pay you. You want to ride with us? That's 100%. You're warranted. Throw your hands up. The players just solved a giant problem for you. When you're offered cake, eat it. However, a lot of times you want to maybe send them into a bigger fight. And the GMPC problem for me comes when NPCs start taking spotlights from players.
Yeah, I agree with you completely on that front. Whenever I use a guide NPC, they're always there basically just to facilitate the fun with the players. This is like my way. He's like my medium, and I'm able to talk to this NPC, and then the NPC translates the things that I want to tell the players through the world, through the context of the world.
Yeah, player GM NPCs that are fixers make a great glue for parties that don't have any social characters. And but in general, GMPCs that are high level solos, then you start running into problems.
Yeah, so no.
These are the type of these hardened mooks. These would maybe be a problem if they were a GM NPC, because they can hit those cool headshots, right? And then your solo on your party is like, I wanted to hit that headshot.
Yeah.
They're not like that, but it's in their head. I want to be the cool guy. Everybody wants to have fun.
Yeah.
And we're already having so much fun creating this world for everybody, right? As GMs, that
Yeah, you gotta let them have fun. It would be
We
terrible.
gotta let them in the head. We get to shoot them in the head. You gotta let them.
Exactly. They got to do the fun, cool things. I had this one guide NPC. The players actually had to rescue him, and he ended up like joining them in combat. And I gave him very basic, stats because I didn't want him to overshadow the players. But just with the luck of the dice, this guy was a monster. He was just headshotting everyone and killing everybody, and they were all like, "Dude, this guy's the main character."
Yeah, for sure. That's a truth of role playing. GMs are just better at rolling dice than players are.
Yeah.
We put in the time, we put in the effort. The dice learn to love us. There's a little Stockholm syndrome there. Yeah. They want to perform well.
I know, right? These throwaway characters.
Yeah, I never. Oh my god, you gotta kill them. You gotta kill the guy to NPC at some point.
Oh yeah, either kill them or they go away.
They become best friends forever.
Yeah,
and then it's us.
Yeah,
and you can never get rid of them, and they start calling the guy to go bowling with him or something.
Yeah, exactly. Nonstop. Hey, cousin.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need that.
All right, so that's the hardened mini bosses. You guys know where you can get it, but if you don't, you go to rtalsauriangames.com. The downloads and DLCs section, you'll see it there. Make sure you guys go there, check it out, download it for free. Have it. It's a free DLC, ladies and gentlemen.
I think I could convince you to put a link in the description.
Yeah, definitely. I'll see if I can do that.
For me?
For you and those beautiful eyes of yours. Are you ready for some questions? Let's get some questions out of the way.
Yeah. Paper. Everything's good.
By the way, I forgot to mention last episode, if you guys have questions, johnthewise@gmail.com. That's where you can leave questions with me, and I'll have it for the podcast and show. This is also on a podcast, if you guys didn't know. But anyway, let's get straight to it. The first question of today, can a stat be lowered to 0, and what does that look like for each stat, Berg? I don't think you have to go through each stat one by one, but maybe some examples of what a 0 intelligence would be, or even if that's possible.
So you can get some stats lowered to 0. I believe the asphyxiation rules involve that. If you're asphyxiating in space, that's how you die, I think.
Mm.
Otherwise, all of the effects that lower stats that aren't binary in the system, aka so some of the drug addictions lower stats, but you can't get double addicted to a drug, so you can't reach a 0 via them, because I worked that into the math, so that couldn't happen.
So you designed it, unless the GM does like some kind of homebrew.
Without
no way.
home, I don't think there's a way to do it. You might be able to do it with a combination of addiction and an already low stat in addiction and critical injuries. But even then, the critical injuries are theoretically temporary.
Gotcha. So really, the lowest you could be.
All of the Netrunner programs that lower your stats say that the effect is psychosomatic and leaves no lasting effect.
So really, the lowest you can go is 1.
I think. In most games. This is one of those edge case questions that's fun just for shop talk, just to know, oh, this is what happens, The place it really happens and matters in gameplay is asphyxiation in space, which, you're a cool GM if you're in space, because you did a bunch of homebrew, and that rule is pretty set out for you in, I don't know which page, but they'll find it.
You can find it. The PDF. Hit that search.
Right.
Okay, so rules as intended, you intended for stat to not ever go to 0, basically.
Not really. Move. If move is at 0, you can't move.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, it affects your stats. I don't think having an int at 0 will make you stop functioning. Because most of it is temporarily at 0. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or it's like Fallout when you have a low intelligence, all your conversation choices are like I go here, you go there throughout the entire game.
I love flow in playthroughs of Fallout. They're my favorite.
That's
You
funny.
get the barbarian or whatever stuff. This is neither here nor there.
No.
I would say you're in a homebrew situation at that point, likely. So that's up to you. What you want to do with that. If you're at 0 move, you can't move. For all the other stats, you're likely there because of a Netrunner program. In which case, don't worry, it will wear off. Act as normal until then. Unless you're asphyxiating in space, in which case, sorry, buddy. You're asphyxiating in space.
That's
a bad look. Don't
good.
do that. I believe you can get back into the airlock. We don't do the air pressure, and then I was blown out of the airlock 10 million miles.
Yeah, I get what you mean. The vacuum of space.
We don't have a vacuum of space insta-death rule.
It's not an actual vacuum.
Because,
Okay. Let's move on. Next question. How about that?
Yeah.
Can drones being controlled by demons evade melee or ranged attacks? So the idea is just like how net architectures work, the demon can control a turret. Let's say theoretically this demon can control a drone, and I'm going to attack this drone with a melee or ranged attack. Can the demon dodge these attacks? What would it use? Does it use its interface? What do you think?
I believe that they don't. They believe maybe. It's listed in the damn. I need to find this now.
Let's see if I can find it while we talk. Go.
Yeah, they got a combat number. That means they defend with their combat number.
That's right. You add a D10 roll to this combat number. So yeah, an imp has a 14, Ifrit has a 14, Balron also has a 14 as their combat number.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea is you roll 1d10 plus 14, and that is their evade skill.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you can determine.
Yep.
There you go. I think that answers it.
Yep. Yeah, that does.
Okay. Next one. This is also from Berg. I figured. Let's see here. Oh no, sorry. That's just one of. That's not it. Never mind. We're moving on. This is from Empty Dingo. Okay, here's the situation. CyberArm with 2 heavy SMGs installed. 4 out of 4 spaces used. Can these SMGs be fire linked, firing at the same time at the target?
No.
Would mounting smart gun links and targeting scopes do it? So basically, they want to know if they can just slap 2 SMGs together and get a higher rate of fire.
This is homebrew.
Yeah.
No. Not as raw.
Yeah, not as raw. You're welcome to do it as a game master if you decide to. James has stated in the past, if you change the rate of fire of a weapon and increase it, you're doing exponentially more imbalanced actions than if you were to do something else. That's like one of the cardinal sins in balance, basically.
So let's step forward here because we're talking about heavy SMGs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have a ROF of 1. A heavy SMG still only shoots a 3d6 single shot. So if they want to shoot 3d6, and they want that to be their tech upgrade for that item, then that's not imbalanced because a 3d6 weapon is just 2 heavy pistols.
So it's 2d36 at a rate of fire 1 with a tech upgrade.
What?
2d6. 6d6. I said it all wrong.
into ROF, 3d6, and then 3d6. So pew pew.
Okay. So you're saying that if I slap 2 heavy SMGs, I do get a rate of fire to 3d6?
No, I'm saying that if you chose to allow a tech to do that using their ability, my ruling would be, yeah, that's fine, whatever, man.
Gotcha. So
unless you increase the auto fire. If they want to increase the auto fire from 3 to 4, yeah, that's broken.
Wow.
So as long as you're trying to increase the ROF and not the auto fire, then it's not broken.
Okay.
And this is all, if you want to do a different ruling, it's your table.
Yeah, you have said before the maker ability kind of lets you do anything you want, but you can break the game.
Yeah. That's why
Jesus. They're so mad at you.
There's a Taekwondo studio out there. And parents trying to get their kids from Taekwondo. There's definitely not enough space to pick everybody up.
So there's some road rage.
Yeah, that's a little road rage in the background.
Man. So do people get in Taekwondo fights in the parking lot?
I'd not. I would imagine the kids are well.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
That's so funny. It's all right. We're going to wrap this up soon anyway. Let's try to answer one more question. How about that?
Yeah. Let's do one more.
This is one from Berg. Can a tech upgrade a piece of cyberware while it is still installed on a person, or does a tech need a med tech to remove the cyberware and then they upgrade it and does the med tech need to reinstall it?
No, but you probably should, because the guy's going to have to sit there while you improve it the whole time.
There you go. You probably should get a med tech because you don't want your patient sitting there for the hours and hours it takes to upgrade it. So you technically don't have to if they're willing to sit down, like a tattoo session.
Yeah. You know? It's like tattooing. You'd remove it and then do the job. And then if you could remove your arm to get it tattooed, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know, right?
Wouldn't $100 extra save you like
Call
6
me
hours?
When you're done.
Call me when you're done. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. One more from Cyberpunk. We have some time. How do I shoot around a human shield, and what happens if I miss? Do I accidentally hit the human shield? Sounds like called shot, right? Called shot.
You have to make a called shot to the head.
-8, or any called shot is a -8. So let's say their head is protected, even if you want to hit the guy behind, right?
I believe it says specifically head.
Oh, really? So
it's the shoot the guy in the head thing from an action movie.
Is this while holding? Because I was led to believe, or I had thought that called shots mean any called shot.
Did I lie to you?
No. Yeah. Why are you lying to me, James? I was led to believe something else.
I do.
I thought any called shot is a -8. Like you want to hit the hand, you want to hit the foot.
It is. It's the same.
Okay, so that's what I was getting at. So let's say if you want to hit anybody that's holding a human shield, you'd have to make a -8 modifier hit. And what happens if they miss? Do they hit the human shield, or is that some kind of homebrew?
I gotta find the human shield tech.
It'd probably be in brawling.
It is a brawling, I believe.
Yeah, it's in that area. Friday night firefight. Thursday night throwdown. Tuesday night tussle.
Human shields. 180. So you get a human shield because you're the attacker in a grapple, and then you use your action instead of doing a choke or a throw to equip the defender as a human shield.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not already wielding a shield, use the same hand you're using to grapple them. While you wield the human shield, you're considered to be in cover.
So you can't target.
You cannot target. You must target. The human shields are more unwieldy than typical shields. Because of their squirming, human shields cannot be used to block melee attacks or ranged attacks specifically targeted at your head using an aim shot.
Gotcha. So that is specific to the human shield. There we go. We got to it. So if you want to hit someone with that has a human shield, they're considered in cover. You do not have line of sight technically on them.
You have cover. They're in cover, but they there's a special caveat for shooting people in the head
Or a melee attack.
or a melee attack.
Yeah. So those are the two ways to get around a human shield.
One of the things human shields are pretty good at: explosions.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're pretty good defenses against explosions, and you feel real John Wick when you're doing it.
Yeah. You sure do.
Yep.
Okay.
Surprisingly, I don't hear a lot of talk about them, so that's a deep cut. I appreciate that question.
Yeah, it's a good one. I love the human shield thing. I go heavy brawling on my characters because it's fun. All right, here we go. How do special ammunition such as incendiary ammo interact with objects such as cars? This is from Eraser.
Okay. Let's look.
Please.
So glad that car stopped honking.
I know, right?
I'm sorry, you gotta edit that.
Yeah,
man.
we're sorry, guys. I mean, I'll try to edit it as much as I can.
Okay, so he wants to know incendiary
or any kind of special ammo. Let's say we know what it does when you hit a person, but how does it interact with the world around you? If I hit,
so piercing is designed to ablate armor, not SP.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you would ablate armor, it specifically calls out armor, so you don't get extra SP on surfaces. It's for armor.
Yeah, it's not going to give you anything extra when it hits a table.
It pierces armor.
Yeah. It'll go straight through. But let's say like incendiary round, you hit a table. Table's on fire.
You know, to a target through their armor. So if you're shooting a car and the car has a source of SP, it would not be ignited. No, incendiary ammo is specifically for shooting people and having them fire because it has to hit cloth.
Okay. What about EMP?
I would EMP, I believe, specifically says anyone hit by your attack. Anyone. That's not cover. That's a person. Yeah, because it specifically calls out cyberware. Now, this being said, that's rules text. If somebody wants to use an EMP grenade in a cool way at my table, hell yeah, you can use an EMP grenade in a cool way at your table. Sort of your job as a GM is to take the rules text and interpret it into gameplay. And those parts are left deliberately vague because who knows if somebody says, I want to throw an EMP grenade at the Gundam, is it going to work? You have every right to say, no, it's not going to work. It might turn off left thruster, but
it's also impossible to design a mechanic for every single situation.
Right. And definitely terrain. I gotta rely on a GM for that. I'm as the game designer, I am relying on you, the GM, to adjudicate terrain a lot of the times. That's why there's terrain concepts in the modifiers. But when people say, "Oh, I want to use my incendiary to light this brush fire," did it rain this morning? You can always dodge, right?
Yeah. Yeah, see, my own personal...
When your players say them, have a chance of derailing something that you spent a long time on.
Yeah.
And if their answer to everything becomes, I set fire to it, that's not a fun game to play in either.
It's the dead of winter. It's
I've
snowy.
I did that in the game I played in middle school. There was this one guy who just wanted to set fire to everything.
God damn it.
Everybody found it annoying, and I didn't know any way to tell him, hey man, that's not cool, because I'm in middle school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this person like I'm an adult.
Yeah.
So it was like, no, it just rains.
It rains. It's raining so hard you can't even make a fire.
Oh my god, it's so hard right now you can't even hear your. The so loud.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
If you guys are interested in my insight when it comes to like making decisions like that, like if one of my players fires an incendiary round at a table, and I feel like, let's say the table had 15 hit points, and he did like 12 hit points of damage, I might just in that moment go, you know what? I'll give him the extra 3, and the table's on fire now, and I'll give the whoever's behind cover, like, you have a chance to like dodge out of the way, or you're going to be taking a little bit of damage. Or if I need to make a decision of whether something's on fire or not on fire, I'll roll 1d10, and depending if it's high or low number, I'll go, you know what? Okay, yeah, it is. The dice have decided that this random event has occurred. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
do stuff like that, in my opinion.
Yeah. And from a game design perspective, for me, I've watched a lot of people play games, studied it. Terrain rules are the number one rules that GMs forget, and their parties aren't worse off because of it.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
At the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal, except the one time it is cool and they bring it up and it as their game. And honestly, at that point, it was just an ad lib, and that's a good. The game designer didn't write that in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the magic of having a human GM your game, and you're not playing a video game, right?
Exactly. That's what makes it better than any video game, because you never know what you're gonna get, and you never know what's gonna happen.
I'd say it's better than a video game at communal storytelling, which is the whole point.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I won't say. I mean, you can't give the feeling of speed that a racing game has at your game table. You're just not gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I won't shit on video games entirely.
No, everything has its place.
Communal storytelling.
Yeah.
We got them wrecked.
Yeah, we're sitting by the fire talking about stories. That's what we're doing. It's basically campfire talk. That's what we're capturing. All right, James, thank you so much. I think we had a great session of the council. Council is adjourned, ladies and gentlemen. James, is there anything you want to tell these folks before they walk out of the room?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I love reading the comments on these videos. Makes me feel happy. And thank you for leaving a comment. If you left a comment, I definitely read everything. And I care about you. Stay safe.
Yeah, same here. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Thank you for getting me to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you to Artel Soren and James and everybody. I really appreciate you guys supporting and being there for me. And we got some more stuff down the pipe, so don't worry. This is just the beginning. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care and bye.
Bye-bye.